Hey guys, how's it going? Let me check in on you. So welcome to the art stream. Every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alchemy stream Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so there was a comment before that I had on another stream, and they were like kind of annoyed. They were kind of annoyed that like it took a few minutes before we started talking about the actual topic, and I find that a little funny. They're like, complaining about me talking about the gym or whatever for like the first few minutes, and I just found that a little bit weird because, first of all, this is a stream. This isn't like an educational. Sorry, I was reading at the same time. Great tweets today, lady. Oh, thanks. It's educational, but it's a stream. So it's a little bit loose. A lot of times I don't really even know what I'm going to talk about. I just have a general topic, and we go and explore that. And it is my stream, so if you want to watch something that's educational about a specific thing and just only hear about that, I encourage you to just YouTube something else. YouTube another video that sticks to the topic. This is a 2-hour stream, so you kind of have to warm up and get into it. I don't think that there's any streamer that really starts right in. I've watched Andy Worski and all sorts of other streamers, and when they have a really big, important topic that they're talking about, some drama or whatever, there's usually a lot of dicking around for the first 30 minutes of it. They kind of doing some boomer tech. They're trying to get their guest on. They're just like chit-chatting a little bit, but then they kind of start warming up and getting into the topic of the stream. So and also it's my stream. Part of it is talking about something, but I think people also tune into streams because they like the personalities and they like the people that are there. So I think some of my followers are interested in my life and me hitting the gym or talking about whatever. You just got to warm up into it. It's a 2-hour stream, so you just got to warm into it before we get into it. But So speaking of just talking about some bullshit before we get into it, today's topic is Art Deco. Didn't really prepare anything, so we'll Google it and have that chit chat, and I'll put my 2 cents on it. So today I didn't have enough time to dry my hair, so we got a wet hair stream going on today. And that's my chit chat. I'm going to talk about the gym last time. I'm going to talk about my wet hair right now. So we'll see it dry up throughout this next 2 hours. Hello from New York City. Oh, wow. Hey. I'm going to be back in New York in December, so I'm really excited about that. I've come across a lot more New York City people and New York people. You do it your way. Loving this tour of art history. Keep rocking it. Thank you. So I guess we'll get into it. Unless anyone has any comments or questions, feel free. I will check in on you guys every once in a while. I will also, let me get into DLive. They often feel neglected, and I will try to check in on DLive as well, time to time. All right. I got one person watching on DLive. I've given up on DLive, man. I don't know. Let's get into it. Like I said, don't really have anything planned. So first things first, let's Google it. And you guys always have some really great comments and contributions to the conversation. I will be checking in on that. Let me find the right one. That's not the right screen. Content card, no. Is it this one? Sorry. Video capture device, that's me. Window capture. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, so first things first is, doing some conversions. That's not what I wanted to show you. Why is that even up? That's not what's on my, that's not what's on my Google right now. Google. There we go. This one. That's the right one. So right away when I Google it, I can see right up here. Oh, I have to get into Bing because I hate the way that Google does the pictures. Ooh, that's beautiful. This Adam and Eve Art Deco. Alright, it's not popping up here now, but on Google I can see up in here these images, and I saw this one, and right away I got excited seeing this picture because I do believe this is Erte, or at least it's his style. Yeah, because here we have some more Erte pictures. And that got me really excited because if you're familiar with my Lady Alchemy work, I was known for having a very Erte style costuming. My look was very Erte. I mean, that's certainly the kind of stuff that I would do. And so I got super excited and I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's bring up Erte and talk about that. But then someone in my Twitter comments said, I mean, how Lady Alchemy is that? That's so Lady Alchemy. And that's what they would say when I worked. All the other performers are like, the Erte girl. And someone on my Twitter said that Erte, they thought he's Art Nouveau. And I was like, not really even sure. Let's get into it. But I feel like Art Nouveau and Art Deco is kind of similar, or maybe even blends into the same genre. So let's see exactly the history about that. Fuck Google too, gave $2 for a jelly baby. Thank you. Yeah, jelly babies. That's a British candy. So funny. T Bella said can't stay long. Just wanted to say hey, hello, nice to see you in here. And yeah, right-wing environmentalist said, oh, there seems to be a lot of Art Deco in most major cities. There are. Art Deco architecture I find really interesting too because it is very ornate. I think the Chrysler Building in New York City is Art Deco. Certainly that was, I think, the era when it was built. But there's sometimes like an overlap, I feel like, with, I don't know if people are going to freak out about this, but the brutalist architecture, which is very concrete and plain. But I feel like Art Deco's kind of brutalist with more ornate stuff. You know, hear me out, because there's definitely some architecture that I've seen, like a theater, and it is concrete, and it was very square and blocky, but it had all the extra bits to it that was very ornate. So that's interesting. Yeah, Eduardo, I feel like they're kind of the same too. So let's get into it and see. Okay, yeah. Someone's saying Art Nouveau is 1890s, Art Deco is 1920s, which, yeah, it kind of all blends together and has an influence from that, so, yeah. Um, Sorry. Sometimes I read your comments and I get caught up. That's what I miss about having like a partner doing this. Sam Jarvis says Art Nouveau and Art Deco mainly differ in that Deco utilizes straight edges and hard angles, while Art Nouveau uses curves and focuses on subtle natural patterns, but very similar otherwise. That's my observation anyway. Cool. Yeah. Let's see what the internet says, shall we? Let's get back to web pages. First thing first, let's see what Wikipedia says. Oh yeah, see here's the Chrysler Building in New York City to the right here. Chicago World Fair poster. Very, very classic. Art Deco, sometimes referred to as Deco, is a style of visual arts, architecture, and design that first appeared in France just before World War I. Art Deco influenced the design of buildings, furniture, jewelry, fashion, cars, movie theaters. Yeah, see the movie theaters that I saw, and I was like, that's an Art Deco building, and it's made out of concrete. It kind of reminds me of Brutalist, but like fancier. Trains. Oh yeah, I could see that. Ocean liners and everyday objects such as radios and vacuum cleaners. Cool. It took its name short for Arts Decoratifs from the Exposition Internationale des Arts Décoratifs at, wow, that is something. International Exhibition of Modern, Decorative, and Industrial Arts. Yeah, it is industrial. See, that's what gives me that brutalist kind of like vibe from it, is that it is kind of industrial. Held in Paris in 1925. It combined modern styles, again, the modern kind of vibe of the brutalist, with fine craftsmanship and rich materials. During its heyday, Art Deco represented luxury, glamour, exuberance, love that trifecta, I'm all about it, and faith in social and technological progress. Art Deco was a pastiche of many different styles, sometimes contradictory, united by a desire to be modern. From its outset, Art Deco was influenced by the bold geometric forms of Cubism. I could see that, like if you see this poster, and let's look at some more of these types of posters that Art Deco had. They're very Cubist style. And the Vienna Secession, the bright colors of Fauvism, and the ballet russe. Oh yeah, the ballet russe. It's interesting. I remember studying that in dance class. The updated craftsmanship of the furniture of the eras of Louis Philip I and Louis Philip I and Louis the Sixth, and the exotic styles of China and Japan, India, Persia, ancient Egypt, and Maya art. It featured rare and expensive materials such as ebony and ivory. Yeah. A lot of, we've talked about this on stream before, but just there's something that we don't have today that, and I've seen it before. I've performed at this like really, really wealthy like Japanese lady's home. She loved me. She would always hire me for her events, parties, and stuff. And she had something that a lot of people don't have anymore: art in her home. Not only hanging on the wall, but there was sculptures like on a pedestal in the hallway and stuff like that. And so Erte actually did a lot of sculptures and things, and definitely a lot of like ivory and ebony and stuff like that, and exquisite craftsmanship. The Chrysler Building and other skyscrapers of New York, built during the 1920s and 30s, are monuments of the Art Deco style. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, Art Deco became more subdued. New materials arrived, including chrome plating, stainless steel, and plastic. A sleeker form of the style called streamline modern appeared in the 1930s. It featured curving forms and smooth, polished surfaces. Art Deco is one of the first truly international styles, but its dominance ended with the beginning of World War II and the rise of the strictly functional and unadored styles of modern architecture and international style of architecture that followed. So let me just catch up with you guys and have a little chat about what we just read. Um, um, Northampton bus station. I'm assuming you mean Northampton in the UK. Oh yeah, you say UK. Yeah, in the UK, because we actually have Northampton in Long Island. It's part of the Hamptons. Northampton bus station in the UK was brutalist, one shittiest building in UK a few times. Oh my god. Yeah. Well, there's something in the UK too. Where you guys have listed buildings. So there's a lot of really shitty brutalist architecture that is actually listed, and which means they can't demolish it. So sometimes some really shitty buildings are listed. I have a Deco vacuum cleaner. It sucks. I'm just fascinated that it's a vacuum cleaner. It's kind of cool though. Okay, yeah. Yeah, speaking of tarot cards, you guys were mentioning the tarot cards that Maz is supposed to be working on as well, finishing up. I sent him something, and it's really cool. Let me pull it up, too. This can kind of maybe go into this conversation, because I do believe Salvador Dali was around the 20s. He's surrealism, though. And, oh, wait, no. Is it? Yeah, no, Salvador Dali. I think he's the 20s or something. But I sent him something, and some Salvador Dali tarot cards that are in print now, and they're so cool. But this kind of goes also with the one of our last conversations about what did we talk about? The Dadaism. He was kind of surrealism. Dadaism went into surrealism. But yeah, Salvador Dali's surreal tarot card design from the 1970s to be released as a complete deck. I mean, how cool is that? Cool. Very inspiring. Awesome. The Empress. Cool. Let's see where we're at. Let's look at a little bit of this, shall we? Yeah, you'll notice the Great Gatsby style is Art Deco as well, because I think that was the time period of where that story takes place. Here's the Chrysler Building in New York City. Again, it had a lot of concrete, but it had a little bit more to it. Up top here, you can see kind of like the crowns of the Erte headdresses. Just like little crowns and pieces like that add a little bit more, just something decorative to it. So, and it just adds so much, just a little bit. Yeah, see, this is some Erte Art Deco stuff. How cool is that? The golden age of graphic art and illustration. Yes, I want this book. I want that. Let's look up Art Deco posters. Yeah. This is very... you can see the cubism now that they mention it in a lot of this. How cool is that? Fashion. You can see the cubism in these posters. I think this is a classic one too. Metropolis, the movie. It's very Art Deco as well. They had a lot of these for, yeah, fashion illustrations, but also a lot of ads for like cities and stuff. You'll see a lot of like this, like the Chicago, or I don't think that's like actually, it's New York. This actually reminds me of a gig that I did in Kingston, New York, near my hometown. Oh, some Erte. Oh, I love it. But just look how gorgeous that is. 1984, George Orwell. Yeah, this reminds me of some poster for this gig that I did for New Year's Eve in Kingston for 2013. It was like 1913 style, and everyone dressed up. The whole town dressed up in 1913 kind of clothes, and it was really, really fun. They had an Art Deco looking flyer. Ooh, look at this Justice League one. Cool. Adventure. These are just such cool posters. Yeah, I could see like the more square edges with the Art Deco, and this reminds me, it says Art Deco, but yeah, this is where I do think that the Art Nouveau kind of blends in. This has more of the Art Nouveau, I feel like, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to talk about the themes of it being international, because you can see the Oriental headdress and that inspiration. I do see that. Alright, let me just switch over and check in on you guys. In New Zealand, our parliament building, called the Beehive, is a bit of an ugly, brutalist pile of concrete. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I get that, and I think I want to talk about brutalist architecture at some point. Someone commented that Art Deco is about elegance, surely brutalist is, well, not. Yeah, no, totally, I get it, and I agree with you, but just, there's something about the material, I feel like. The concrete, and sometimes some of that modernist edge to it, but it still has artistry like to it. It still has like ornateness. Like brutalist was definitely more about like simplicity. It was about just like making things, it was function over form, and Art Deco still had that form aspect to it. They did care about the aesthetics. I don't think brutalist stuff did, but I see some sort of resemblance sometimes, I think probably with the modernist style and the square edges and the materials, and then they added ornate stuff to it, which fair enough. Where can you buy the cards from? As far as the Salvador Dali cards, I'm not sure. Let me see. I don't even think... Oh, they're available for pre-order. I will drop the link. Here we go. Look up the New Zealand Centennial half crown. I think it's a bit Art Deco looking with the woman on the side. Cool, yeah, let me put that up right now. I'm getting money. Is this a building or is it a coin? Yeah, I see it. I think that's kind of cool. Very Lady Alchemy. I like it. I like it. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I'm gonna see if Erte is Art Deco or not, because it gets intertwined. Holy shit! He died in 1990, and he was born in 1892. That's gonna be like me. I was just talking to my sisters how we're gonna be like the old motherfuckers who are born in the 1900s. Well, I was born in 1985, and it's just gonna be wild that we're from like the 1900s. But all the way up to 1990. Damn, he just 10 more years. He could have lived crazy amount of time. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. Did a lot of fashion illustrations, and to me it's very Art Deco, but I'm not seeing anyone say it, what it is. Russian Empire. Cool. Yeah, it says Art Deco. Time period, Art Deco. Cool. Yeah, so I figured. I just love his stuff. I mean, look at how Lady Alchemy is that. Cool. Yeah, and these are sculptures. He did a lot of sculptures. Bronze and stuff. I mean, come on. We don't have sculptures anymore nowadays, really. Like, who even cares about to have this in their home? And I love all those draping fabrics and the way it twists and moves around. I have a lot of costumes inspired by that. I might show you, actually. Oh, it's right here. I was doing some costume design. Oh, I love this one, too. I was doing some costume designs for Lady Alchemy. And they're inspired by Erte. The Art Deco. So you can see like the way that the drapes of that they use. Hold on, let me bring something up. The way that they just drape fabric. You see how it's wrapping around your arm and flowing and coming down. So I was trying to do that as well with some of the concepts. Rose cross costume. And this one in particular was inspired. Oh shit, it's green. It's green, so you can't see it. But this one is actually inspired by that actual Erte look. But it has alchemy stuff on it. So, damn, I wish you guys could see it. Maybe I'll just do that. How do I do this? No. It's green, so you can't see it, but the shape of the robes are exactly like that. But in my hand, you can see I have that alchemy thing with the snake and the snakes wrapped around like the medical wand. And then on my shoulder is actually like a lion. It's supposed to be a green lion, which we've talked about in Alchemy Stream. It's an alchemical thing. And the crown with the stars, that's in alchemy imageries as well. So I kind of took that concept and the idea for the robes, gave it a little Art Deco-ness, but then added alchemy to it. So that's kind of how I come up with stuff. I find some original kind of like classical art and things, and I'm like, that's cool, I like that. How can I turn it into alchemy? You know, like give it that alchemical edge. Let me see what's going on. Alright, so I'm just reading your comments. Yeah, Jay, I'll share with you guys some of my drawings maybe. Alright, I was just checking in on you. Let's go back. Flowing fabrics. Oh, this I love too. I think it's like from Queen of the Night or something. Again, this gives me some alchemy vibes because of that moon crescent on her head and that crown. But this is really cool. I want to do this kind of concept where it's like a really, really big dress that has people attached to it. She's the moon and they're the stars. It's just really cool. Yeah, like look at, oh God, just look at that. And look at this, just like how these lines connect. You see it's on her leg and it's going up to the other girl's arm and then it crisscrosses the arm to the leg. Like, who thinks of that? That's so cool. This is another one. Just a lot of that draped pearls and creating shapes with all these ornate things. That would be a really cool idea too. Oh, I love, love, love this. This, yeah, has like that Asian kind of inspired look too, but the really long kimono-like thing, but it's like fur or something. Really elegant. It's a sculpture, but again, look at how the fabrics, it like comes from behind her and it, you know, goes into her hand and it falls down and then it's coming up from around her neck. It's just the way that the fabrics like intertwine and move together is just so cool. And you can do these designs, which I do actually make myself with, really simply, because you just take big piece of fabric, you wrap it around, put it over your shoulder, put it on your arm, let it loop and hang down. So it just looks really, really elegant. Like, look at that. Just makes your eye move all the way around. Oh, again, this one too with the dog. And she has that fur on her arm and then it's all wrapped around her other hand. Just so cool. This one was made into a sculpture as well. I mean, this is a $10,000 Erte bronze sculpture. Yeah, here's someone else made it into a costume, one of the Erte pieces. You can just go on and on about his stuff. I love it. Let me just get back in there with you. Jay says this Art Deco style reminds me of Yoshida Mano a little bit. I don't know who that is, but I'm curious. So let me look that up. Oh yeah, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it with like stuff like that. Let me catch back up with you guys. The bodies are not orthogonal to the ground, they're somewhat angular. Thank you, Eduardo, for using orthogonal. For people that don't know, orthogonal is a mathematical word for perpendicular. just gonna drink my coffee for a second. God, I wish I had like a partner to just blab now while I can just sit back and think. It is. Orthogonal is like, it's basically perpendicular. Oh, we got these coins happening. Does anyone know what's going on with these coins? What does it do? What does it mean? And that reminds me, guys, you know, I'm going to show a little bit, send them super chats, and Jay's making fun of me. We got these coins happening. I don't know what they mean. What are the coins? What do they do? I need to know. Just let me know how these coins work, if anyone knows. Let me check the live. Is the Airstream considered Art Deco? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, is that like the train? I don't know, man. Let's go back. Let's go see what fucking Google says about this shit now. I'm just not feeling it today, but I have to stream. So let's find another thing. Let's go to this Britannica thing. Art Deco, also called Style Modern. Oh, I never knew that. Movement in the decorative arts and architecture that originated in the 1920s and developed into a major style in Western European and the United States during the 1930s. Its name was derived from, we found that out. Oh, thank you. With the coins again. Thank you. Yeah, we got its name from that freaking industrial modern art stuff held in Paris in 1925, where the style was first exhibited. Art Deco design represented modernism turned into fashion. It's pretty accurate. Its products included both individually crafted luxury items and mass-produced wares, but in either case, the intention was to create a sleek and anti-traditional elegance that symbolized wealth and sophistication. So I like that. It may not be like trad, but it is a European and American style of art that had influences of the world, cultural appropriation there. And I like that it symbolized, what was that trifecta from Wikipedia? I love that it symbolizes elegance and wealth and sophistication. And I think that that's kind of what we need to get back into. You know, I feel like this whole trash thing has been, you know, hipster for a while too now. Like, I get it, it's cool. Yeah, synthwave, yay, 80s, like all that. But I really do think that there's something really cool about this era when you can, you know, kind of like the Baroque and the Rococo period, when we talked about that in that stream, was also about extravagance and detail and just showing the power of the Catholic Church. A lot of gold, a lot of ornate things. So I kind of really like that style. And also, when we talked about it in the Langerfeld stream, he had a lot of images that were like that too. Just some of the, you know, exuberance of the photos. They were in gowns, and they were in just like these, oh shoot, speaking of, gotta cover up this hideous chair with some fur. They were in gorgeous thrones and gowns, and just everything was very, very like wealthy and sophisticated looking. Like, I love that. I love that style. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. The distinguishing feature of the style are simple, clean shapes, often with a streamlined look. Ornament that is geometric or stylized, which we saw in the Chrysler Building, from representational forms and usually varied, often expensive materials. Ew, I love that. I love expensive materials. I love silk. I love tweed. I love leather. I love fur. I love pearls. I love things like that. Often expensive materials, which frequently included man-made substances, plastics, especially bakelite, Vitaglass, and ferroconcrete. Yeah, see, I knew they had concrete. Like, that's what I noticed when I saw that, the movie theater. I was like, it's very square and concrete with some ornate stuff over it. I was like, it gives me that, like, modernist, brutalist vibe, but more decorative. So, yeah. And same with the Chrysler Building. It looks like a concrete building, but then on the top of it, it's decorative. So I was like, I don't know. Though Art Deco objects were rarely mass-produced, the characteristic features of the style reflected admiration for the modernity of the machine and for the inherent design qualities of machine-made objects. Example, relative simplicity, planetary symmetry, and unvaried repetitive of elements. Yeah, I could see that. Among the formative influences on Art Deco were Art Nouveau. There we go. It is connected. Knew it. The Bauhaus. We talked about Bauhaus a little bit in the Metacog Ender stream. Some of the design inspiration that I sent him was Bauhaus, as well as I think in the Dadaism there we talked a bit about Bauhaus and Cubism. And Serge Diaghilev's the ballet russe. Oh yeah. Let's bring up the ballet russe. Gotta show that. I think this is some of that weird Dada ballet stuff too that I was showing you guys before. Ballet russe in Australia. Yeah, I think it's when ballet got a little bit less, like, it's still traditional, but it's very, oh my god, is that blackface? The guy's in blackface. Do you guys see that? Do you see it? Yeah, well, that was the thing. Yeah, I think they strayed a little bit from like the super traditional and got inspired by a lot of other random things in the art at the time. But yeah, the Ballet Russe was an itinerant ballet company based in Paris that performed between 1909 and 1929 throughout Europe and on tours to North and South America. The company never performed in Russia, where the revolution disrupted society. After its initial Paris season, the company had no formal ties there. But yeah, that was, I guess, yeah, an influence there. Founded in 1909, so yeah, around that time. Anna Pavlova is a dancer. Oh yeah, this is where I remember studying in ballet, in dance. The choreographer George Balanchine joined in 1925. He's super, super big. Music was commissioned of Rimsky-Korsakov and Stravinsky, and designs of Picasso, Raoult, Matisse, and Derain. The company was dissolved after that guy's death in 1929. Cool. Fun stuff. Decorative ideas came from American Indian, Egyptian, and early classical sources, as well as from nature. Characteristic motifs included nude female figures, animals, foliage, and sun rays, all in conventionalized forms. I mean, it's a whole other topic in itself to go over this, but nude female forms are throughout art history, and that is something that if you are cultured, you understand and appreciate. And there's a difference between nudity in art and pornography, and if you don't know the difference, then I think you are uneducated and uncultured. Okay, so I think it's important for our people wear our organs. Let me catch up to what you guys are saying. Yeah, so Philip Daniel is telling me that in that ballet, it is a blackface role. Cool. I mean, you know, whatever. It is what it is. It's history, man. They did a lot of cultural appropriation too, because you can see the influence of the Indian, the Asian Indian, and the Oriental, and all that stuff. It was very inspired by the Orient, I suppose. And there's nothing wrong with that. It was an appreciation for it. Just catching up to what you guys are saying. Yeah, I used to watch Betty Boop when I was a child with my ex-step-grandfather, who was my step-grandfather at the time, William. And you may have noticed a post on my Lady Alchemy that I said R.I.P. William, and used to talk about Carmen Miranda. And I wish you could see me in that Carmen Miranda outfit with all the fruit on my head. But he is the one that got me into a lot of that cabaret stuff, like Carmen Miranda, the classical stuff. Oldies music was because of William. He had this CD, it was called Super Oldies of the 50s, and I became obsessed with 50s music. I love the 50s. And what else? He had a Phantom of the Opera CD, and I became obsessed with the Phantom of the Opera music, and then I eventually saw it. And we would watch Betty Boop. William. Miss you, William. Sandra, your little sister's 13 years younger than you. Yeah, mine's 12 years younger than me. Yeah, Eduardo, I agree about New York culture. It's like the opposite of Hollywood. It's like it's its own vibe. It's crazy. Conservative UK, the counterculture. Trying to catch up with you guys. See what you're saying. All right, that's about it. Hey, from New Jersey. I miss the Northeast. Can't wait to get back. All right, let's get back into the Art Deco. Most of the outstanding Art Deco creators designed individually crafted, or here, let me share this link with you guys, by the way. It's the Britannica. You want to know my political beliefs? Read the U.S. Constitution. That's right, Jay. into it. That's the link that I'm working with, by the way, guys. So if you want to follow along and go at your own pace, or if you cannot understand my ramblings trying to read it, you can read it yourself. Most of the outstanding Art Deco creators designed individually crafted or limited edition items. Love that. Individually crafted or limited edition items. See, that's what we got to be about, too. They included the furniture design Jacques Raumann and Maurice Dufresne. The architect metalsmith Jean something French, Pufaucat. Glass and French jewelry designer René Lelacqui. Fashion designer Erte, my favorite. Artist jewelry Raymond Templier, H.G. Murphy, and Wewin Nilsson, and the figurative sculpture. Can't say his name. Okay, they're just naming things. I can't do it. New York City's Rockefeller Center. Oh yeah, especially its interiors, supervised by Donald Desky, built between 1929 and 1940. The Chrysler Building by William Van Allen, and the Empire State Building. Oh yeah, even the Empire State Building. I thought so. They're among the most monumental embodiments of Art Deco during the 19th. See, we got New York in the house. During the 1930s, the style took over South Beach in Miami, Florida, producing an area known as the Art Deco Historic District. Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. I'm going to look that up right now, but let me look up Rockefeller Center. Rockefeller Center. Yeah, these doors are insane. That definitely looks very Art Deco. That's like the, what is it? The William Blake. It's this one, but the full picture. Yeah, that's like an interpretation of this thing. What is that thing supposed to be? Yeah, so that's cool. That's an interpretation of that. Cool. We've got Atlas Shrugged as well, over at Rockefeller Center. And he has that Art Deco kind of vibe too, if you see him up close. Very like cubist looking sculpture. These are some details of things at Rockefeller Center. I mean, just look how big that is too. It's cool. It said especially in the inside, but I wanted to see what the inside looks like. I don't think I've ever been inside. Oh yeah, this door as well.
Are there any good examples of new buildings, sculptures built in the Art Deco style? If not, are we being punished?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that the modern architects are influenced by what's in style right now, and I think what's in style right now is still the very modernist, sleek stuff. It's a lot of glass and steel, or it's like, what is it, shipping containers? We live in the container kind of stuff, a lot of glass, a lot of things like that. So I feel like the style has changed, but that's what's so great about Roger Scruton and why he should be in charge of doing things in for the government as far as architecture goes, because he is really, really heavily into bringing back like beauty in architecture, and he has a lot of these old classic kind of vibe. So I hope that, I think there's definitely some artists that are into some architects that are into architectural revival. That's what it's called. So there is like a whole scene about that. But I think as far as like major architects, like what the trend is very modernist and very sleek. So it's the times we live in, guys. It's the times we live in. Yeah, Andy, we were looking at the Chrysler building. That was like the first building that popped up in my head to be Art Deco, because I'm from New York. Yeah, he has a lot of knowledge and a lot of stuff. But I found Scruton probably around 2013. Because I was an artist in New York City and I was really, really frustrated by the scene, and I came upon his works talking about beauty and the cult of ugliness and why beauty matters. So I was a fan of his talking about art and beauty, but he definitely has a lot of other knowledge. Welcome to the live show, John. Okay. That's a good point, Sam Jarvis. What does everyone think about ancient Egyptian art? Is that kind of Art Deco? I mean, Art Deco is the specific time period, I would say, and like that specific vibe that like went on then. But like, yeah, I see it. I see the Art Deco in it. But I think maybe that's because Art Deco was influenced by Greek sculpture, ancient Greek art and stuff like that. So I think that there is probably similarities, because it was like basic cubism kind of. Something about cubism too is that like it's like seeing all the body part, like in ancient Egyptian art, it's like you have to see all body parts and stuff like that. And cubism kind of is like that. It's very basic looking, but I think the Art Deco, like I said, was inspired by ancient Egypt and like that Oriental kind of stuff or whatever. So I definitely see it. Oh yeah, let's look at that Miami Art Deco area. I was just like excited because I love New York. I'm a New Yorker, so I was just looking at the New York ones. But yeah, let's look this up. Art Deco, Miami, Florida. Art Deco Historic District. That is so cool. Wow. Oh, I see it. It's very like Miami Vice or something, no? This is a like very Miami art kind of Art Deco. The New York Art Deco is kind of goth. This is very colorful. Well, I think those are really cool. Yeah, it's like, huh. That's actually really cool. Yeah. There you go. It's classic Art Deco there. Carlisle. Park Central Hotel, Carlisle. That looks very Art Deco, but it's very Miami colors. It's like Art Deco with synthwave colors. The post office. On these pictures, no? Even that car in front of it, it's really cool. Here we go, movie theaters. That's a cool picture, the Webster. Yeah, these colors are very like Miami plus Art Deco. It's interesting. I like it. feel like that would be a really cool place for, what's his face, that photographer that I've been reposting. Let me bring it up. I feel like I should give him that tip, that's going on over there in Miami, because I feel like he would take really good pictures. Like this guy that does like these pictures. These are in like Korea. Oh my god, I really fucked up that tweet. It's so annoying when like the different Twitter and Instagram names like keeps fucking my shit up. Yeah, I feel like he would enjoy shooting in the Miami Art Deco district. I should give him that tip, because this is very like the Miami one is very like neon Art Deco. It's cool. It's cool. It's not what I was expecting, because I'm used to the New York Art Deco. It's very metallic and goth looking. I just want to see more of it. It's cool. See, this kind of reminds me of Brutalist. I'm telling you, but with a little bit of detail. Look at how synthy that is. It's cool. Alright, let me check in on you guys. See if you're on topic or not. Yeah, I know. Twitter does need an edit button. Oh, there's someone in D Live. Oh, hello. Brazilian guy. Cool, cool. Oh, we got 9 people in D Live. Sweet. Hey, D Live people. This is Art Stream. You can always check out the YouTube. Oh my god. Don't search the thing that he told us to search. Oh my god. Okay, okay. Let's just get back into it. Let me check up on you guys. Yeah. How did Ted Clayton said, how did you not realize that district was Art Deco? Wow. I know. That's crazy. Learn a little something new. I might draw a Clown World meme in Art Deco poster style. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading your comments. I wish I had a partner while I read comments. You can just talk. All right, cool. Clown wave. Yes, I can make martinis. I make really good margaritas, but I can do martinis as well. All right, let's get back into it. Miami Art Deco district, very cool. Didn't know about that. Oh my god, look at that. That is so cool. I mean, come on, does that not look modernist too? It has that modernist vibe, but with like more detail. All right, let's go back and see what this is talking about. Although the style went out of fashion in most places during World War II, beginning in the late 1960s, there was a renewed interest in Art Deco design. I thought so, because when I look at this, I was going to say it reminds me kind of like diners in like 1950s style, hence the car. Like, look at the 50s cars with it. It kind of looks very 1950s to me, but Art Deco is 1920s. So that makes sense. It kind of looks like those old, like, what is it called? Drive-in? No, not drive-ins. Like, the fast food places, like 1950s, like burger joint. Burger joints. I feel like it has like an old burger joint vibe. I don't know. Like, is that not really similar to that Art Deco style in Miami? I think it is. Like, hello, look at that stand. Oh my god, this actually reminds me of a diner in my hometown area. What is it called? Ever Ready? Ever Ready? How do I spell it? Ever Ready Diner. New York. Yeah, this is my diner growing up. This is what we went to as teenagers. And in the inside, there's like that guy. Let me get a clearer picture. It's like this big guy. Like, look at the inside. You see the Art Deco where it says hamburger? That looks very Art Deco. The Ever Ready Diner, man. This is, yeah, that's where we used to go as teenagers after, you know, a concert or something. And right next to this, right next to the Ever Ready Diner, is like a skate rink, like roller skates, a roller skating rink. It's called the roller rink, I think. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Ever Ready Diner in Rhinebeck. Yeah, I remember that burnt down. I was like, yeah, this one's not in Rhinebeck. This one's in Hyde Park, which is the classic one. This one was like a few other different diners at some point, but yeah, I remember this fire happened. But yeah, this is how I grew up, man. And it's very, I think, Art Deco. And no wonder they say there was a resurgence in that time period. I'm just checking out what you guys are saying. You guys talking about Burger King? No, I'm talking about a diner. Yeah, exactly, Sam Jarvis. 1950s was like pastel Art Deco. Totally true. Rob said, to be honest, Art Deco doesn't work for automobiles. Some of that shit is embarrassing. I kind of like it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, the diner in my, like, hometown, which, I don't know, I don't want to, like, dox myself, but not to, like, it's a secret, but it's also one of those very sleek metal, just like the Ever Ready one. It looks just like that. It's like that old school diner with, like, girl in a pigtail takes your order and stuff. Let's go back to this. Yeah, Art Deco, it had a renewed interest. Into the 21st century, Art Deco continued to be a source of inspiration in such areas as decorative art and fashion and jewelry design. Cool. Oh, these are some of the artists that they reference. Wow, look at that jewelry. Ooh, gold and emeralds. Cool, I want it. The Empire State Building, yes. Let's see what this video does. Oh, Central Park.
As New York rose in world influence, the city found ways to consciously proclaim its power to the planet. One of the first and best examples is the Empire State Building, built in the early 1930s. The building's construction put many men to work in the depths of the Great Depression and helped sustain New York's economy at a critical time. The structure exemplifies Art Deco architecture. Simple and geometric streamlined shapes graced the structure inside and out. But what set the structure apart was its height. When completed, it was the tallest office building in the world, a status that remained unchallenged through much of the 20th century. Art Deco lines in the building reinforced its vertical feel.
Cute. Didn't realize it was the tallest building in the world for a while. Yeah, they always change the colors on the top of it, and it really accentuates the Art Deco architecture of it with it when they put the lights on it. Depends on, like, this looks like Christmas because they have the red and green, so they change the colors for different things. Halloween's like orange or something. But yeah, I think it's quite plain looking, like I said, but the little bit of that depth of the at the top makes it a bit Art Deco-y. Chrysler Building, yeah. See, this one to me is very Art Deco. That I see. And again, even at the bottom, it has that concreteness to it. And if you just cover that top bit, it would be just like a plain normal concrete building. But then at the top, they do those little crown thingies. And it's really gorgeous. The little detailing up top. I think it's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing at Rockefeller Center. I guess that's also Art Deco. Zodiac signs and shit. Erte, there we go. Yay. Gorge. Ooh, look at that makeup. Cool. Look at all the details of this. I didn't even realize he was a fashion guy. I just thought he did illustration and like sculptures, but makes sense because I use his work for fashion inspiration. That looks terrible. I don't like it. I don't like it. That looks, again, brutalist. No. No, I don't like it. Nope. Huh. Alright, guy from Brazil. Check out this. Apparently this is a bit Art Deco-y. Reinforced concrete. The thing is freaking huge. I see it. I see it. It's a bit Art Deco-y. I see it. Man, that thing is huge. Gorgeous. Okay, let me get back into it, guys. Done a lot of World War II propaganda posters use Art Deco. I feel like it does, yeah. Jesus is Art Deco. I love that. Oh, I remember that, Ed Brown. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, that was 30 or 40 years ago. Probably, but I feel like there was something recently, and I remember in New York there was an exhibition where there was like some orange like fabric that they put throughout like I don't know Central Park or something. But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Some guy painted all the islands off the Miami coast pink for 2 weeks. I think he wrapped them in something, trees, everything. Yeah, that sounds really familiar. Looks like something I'd build in Minecraft. Oh, Stephen 4X said, if you're ever in the Orlando area, I highly recommend the Morse Museum. I believe the largest collection of Tiffany in the world. Check out the chapel. Sorry, I just got a little confused because when you say the Morse Museum, instantly I thought in Poughkeepsie, where the area of upstate the Hudson Valley, New York, where I grew up. There's like the Morse estate, the guy that invented the Morse code. And he has an estate there. It's really, really gorgeous. All right. Art Deco war posters. Cool. Let's do it. Yes. Totally. Oh, I'm going to do it on this other fucking thing. Oops, not shocking. Canada's new army needs men like you. Oh, look at that. And then there's like the old knight with the horse in the background, and then there's like the modern version of you. Belgium fights on. Yeah, this is very Art Deco. What's with all the Star Wars Art Deco shit? I don't really get it. Someone can tell me that. Oh my god. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field. Okay, this must be British, because the Brits have this thing with poppies. It's actually poppy season right now, I think. Oh my god, the Star Wars thing is going to start pissing me off. Art Deco weekend. Years of Art Deco person come into the factory. Women of Britain come into the factory. So this was when men went out to war. The women stayed to work and work in the factories. That's what happened. So this is like propaganda posters for women to go work. Como un solo hombre. Fucking Star Wars shit, I swear to God. Western flying. Here comes the Corsairs? The Corsairs? Some Navy shit. Leningrad. Love it. Oh my god. Oh my god, this Star Wars shit's really pissing me off. Sports, tourism, theater. This is like travel flyers and stuff a lot of times. Give them both barrels. Oh my god. That's really cool. I like that. Oh my god, this is some Antifa shit. No pass around. Huh. Yeah, that's like Antifa, basically. Join the air service and serve in France. Do it now. Do it now. I kind of like the Russian propaganda. They're actually really good. What was it even? Do I call it Russian, or is it just like USSR or some shit? I don't know. Russian. It's like the commie Art Deco is actually really good. Let me see, Russian. Like, that's interesting. That one. Don't know what it says. That's actually cool. That's actually really cool. Like Lenin and shit. I wish I knew what it was saying. And then there's like the anti-communist ones, which are actually really interesting too. Anti-communist propaganda. Those aren't very Art Deco-y though. Let me look up Art Deco. Oh yeah, this is a British one. Oh, this is a great one. America under socialism. Factory closed, and these workers just like no work. Oh my god. This one's always really great. I don't think any of this is Art Deco though. There we go. This one is. I think that's some Russian one or something. Yeah. Well, let me check it on you guys. Yeah, pass around means they shall not pass. What they're talking about, like, right? I don't know. You're talking about Nazis, but it's the same thing with like Antifa being anti-fascism. It's like they just target right-wingers. Iron Maiden posters for me. Soviet. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Eduardo. I don't know. There's like a million freaking names for them. Which one do they want? Alright guys, let me see. We pretty much went through like what Art Deco means, and we looked at some architecture and some posters. And it seems pretty straightforward, so I might just scope around a little bit more, but I might call it quits a little bit early anyway if I don't get to anything. But and no one's super chatting or anything, so oh fuck. Sorry about that. Sorry about the table. Oh, we got the Tate UK. Oh god, these earrings that clip on and they hurt. Oof. Yeah, we got some Erte in here. I just love him. It's really cool. Oh, I love this one too. Like, I want that little umbrella. Nude female forms. All about that. Ooh, emerald one. I mean, like, who could look at that? Oh, this Cancer one. See how there's like, the thing she's standing on has like the 69 looking thing? That's the Cancer. And, astrological sign. And I love that. I love emeralds. And I love beautiful naked ladies. Like, who can look at that and think that that's pornographic? Like, you have to be some retard to not know. Or just a basic primitive human being that, like, can't control their urges. Topaz. This is Scorpio. Cool. Erte did that? That doesn't look too much like his stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, this one is... Which one is this one? Taurus. That one's Taurus. Huh. Cool. Erte and the Enduring Appeal of Art Deco. A new exhibition features over 100 works by the Art Deco artist Erte, whose designs were used across magazine covers, on stage, yes, and in films, and saw popularity right across the 20th century. This is the design for the revue La Femme et Le Diable, originally for La Apollo Theater in Paris and later in the Winter Gardens, New York. Erte was the pseudonym of Russian-born Frenchman Roman de Tirtov, an artist, illustrator, and designer whose lavish Art Deco creations enjoyed a wide range of applications, from fashion and magazine design. From fashion magazine design to set designs and costumes for theater, opera, and film. I want to look that up, actually. This is obviously a costume sketch design. And again, look at the fabrics just rolling up the arms and stuff. That's, I love it. That's what I do. Actually, let me try to find you guys a picture of kind of what inspired me for this as well. Yeah, like you can see I just wrapped fabric and the bit from the back is going up my arm and around, and it's a headdress. That's the kind of stuff that I did in inspiration from Erte. You can see here as well, it's just up and going around my arm. I tried, you know what I mean? Alright. This is costume design for Matahari. So I guess what it was describing before is this image up here. Look at her titties hanging out up here. Titties just peeping. Yeah, this is for Matahari. 1913. The first theatrical production by Paul Poiret, Theatre de la Renaissance, Paris, pen and ink, watercolor. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, I want that. Can someone make me that? I'll make it. I need money to make it, though. Oh my god. Okay, gotta read this. The 125th anniversary of Erte's birth was marked by an exhibition of his work at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. I've been there last year. Oh my god. When was this written? Because I'm going to be really annoyed if I missed it. Okay, no. It was well before I went there. At the Hermitage in St. Petersburg last year, which featured gouache works from the... is that how you say it? The material, the medium. From the private collection of Eric and Salome Historic. These pieces are currently being exhibited at London's Grosvenor Gallery, the art space at the... Again, this article is from 2017, so I don't even know if it's still there. Oh, sorry, I'm banging on the table. Sorry. Found and brought together in an accompanying paperback catalog published by Fontanka based on the original book for the Russian show. Oh my god, I love that. I'm going to save it. Costume design for the Revue Fancy Free, Prince of Wales Theatre, London. This looks very like... what is it called? Marie Antoinette looking kind of thing. Corp de Nuit, 1917, designed for Harper's Bazaar. Yeah, back when these fashion magazines were actually like artsy and cool. Now they're all just like, I mean, some of them are alright, but they don't do like artsy stuff like this anymore. Over the course of his long career, Erte, whose adopted name derived from the French pronunciation of his initials, RT, created over 250 cover designs for Harper's Bazaar in a relationship that began with his first commission from the magazine in 1914. So cool. Yeah, there's a lot of Vogue and Harper's Bazaar covers that I've seen drawings. A few years before, as a 21-year-old in Paris, Erte had already gained work at the esteemed courtier house of Poiret? Where, as the late critic Brian Sewell writes in his essay for the book, he brought the theater into the field of fashion. Love that. That's why I love Erte so much, too. Because I do like theater stuff, but, like, other people like pulling that out of their vagina, or pull stunts, or do, like, a trick, or ta-da, or, like, do circ stuff, which is really cool. But I'm just, like... That's my theatrical contribution, and that's why they would call me like the Erte girl. Costume for Ginger Rogers, 1975, designed for the ballet Ragtime. I've Got Rhythm, Grand Theater. Cool. Look at those eyes. Cool. This 1974 design for stocking packaging. Oh my god, how cool. I want a stocking packaging from Erte. One of Erte's skills, Sewell suggests, was his ability to adjust the essence of a particular style or period to his own ends. For example, the fascination with all things Egyptian that took hold in the 1920s after the discovery of King Tut's tomb was a style he incorporated into his works, which is why I think you were saying that it's like the Egyptian stuff is also kind of similar. I think they definitely used Egyptian as an inspiration. Cultural appropriation! After a year in Hollywood working on set designs in the mid-1920s, cool, Erte returned once again to France to work, but demand for his art began to fall after the Great Depression. People didn't have money. The Second World War and the aesthetic taste of post-war generation saw interest in his style of work declining further still. How sad. Look at how cool that is. That kind of reminds me of the, like, Greek vases. You know, doesn't it look like an ancient Greek vase? It's beautiful. This was 1926 cover design for Harper's Bazaar. Yet, while the dominance of the Art Deco style had waned during these decades, a re-interest in the movement in the 1960s flung Erte and his work back into the limelight. His first monograph was published in 1970. His memoirs came out 5 years later, and in 1977, Erte finally printed his famous alphabet lettering series based on the human form, which he had originally begun in the 1920s. I think you guys may have seen that. It's just like all these girls, and they like create like shapes of letters. Do you notice like the people under her dress? This was 1936 for cover of Harper's Bazaar. At his death, age 98, man, in 1990, few 20th century artists could be said to have seen their work embraced by comings and goings of art, fashion, and theater as Erte had. As a result, it is fascinating to pore over the highlights from his 7 decades of work. Oh man, this is in Bury Street, London. I really want to see his stuff before I leave. That was fun. Cool. What do you guys think? Let me just see what you guys are saying. Ooh, cool. Someone said check out tomorrow. We'll do that. I put that in. Cool. I will show that in a second. I'm just catching up on what you guys are doing. Oh, Focable2 gave $2. He says, new photo shoot when? Actually, I am doing a photo shoot in a few days. Well, actually, I did a photo shoot like a few weeks ago, and the guy is incredibly talented. I can't wait to show you the pictures. It's just photographers. They're always traveling around. They're taking a ton of pictures, and you kind of have to wait for them to sort through them all and have them ready to be published. So I'm just waiting. Right now is the waiting time. But it's always worth it. Just give them their distance and have patience, and soon enough we'll have some new pictures, brand new pictures to show you guys, which is very exciting. And I'm going to be doing another shoot with Lucy Brown in like, I don't know, a few days or something, maybe next week. Thank you, Never Cold. Thank you. Let me catch up with what you guys are saying. Soviet Art Deco. Soviet race posters were cool. Eduardo, thank you for appreciating that I am right-wing, but appreciating communist propaganda for its aesthetics. It's amazing, yeah. Comrades, this is why I wish I had a partner to kind of chat while I catch up with what you guys are saying. Is Art Deco French? Yeah, it started in Paris in 1925, it said. And so, yes, and it had that long French place or thing that it started from, the Modern International, blah, 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 blah. But yes, French. A lot of this art is like originates in France. The Dadaism didn't, but it was big in France at some point. But the fine arts also were French. Okay, sorry. You guys are talking about Joker now. Catching up to the comments. Jay, titties out for Jesus. Baby Jesus, don't forget that bit. Why would YouTube censor the stream? Yeah, I kind of like short hair. You guys brought up the short hair in Art Deco. I cut it short sometimes. Sorry. All right. All right. Oh, Eduardo, it's just artsy, like drawings, so I don't think they'll censor actual drawings of girls. All right. I don't know. What else you guys want to talk about? Because we're hitting that 2-hour mark, and yeah. Dave Incognito gave $2. He said, "Is the 300 goal for a trip or to see the band? Is there a band called America?" No, it's because I'm leaving in a few weeks to go to America. So, you know, yeah, it's gonna help. Fuck Google too. How come I can't see your comment? Did you make a comment? All right, guys. I don't know. I don't really have too much more to go on. Art Deco is fairly easy, it's straightforward. Oh, well, that person gave me someone to look up. I have seen this before. Yeah. It's gorgeous. That's really cool. I love that. Yes. Yeah, you can see the cubism vibe with it, which I never realized was a thing with Art Deco, but yeah, it's true. It's beautiful. Yes. It's gorgeous. This is the artist, I think. I love that. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's me. When I have my short hair. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I love this. This is great. Perfect. Anything else, guys? No, I'm in the UK right now, but I'm American. Yeah, I'm from New York City, and I'm going back in December. Bye, Ralph. The band America is Canadian. Oh my god. Ridiculous. Okay, well, I don't think I have anything more to talk about. If you guys want to keep me on, you can send a super chat or something. But other than that, I'm gonna be out. I'm over it. Let's see. What I think I wanted to talk about next stream was, I have in my notes art and math, which is super fun because those are two of my favorite things put together. I studied mathematics at NYU, and so I love math and I love art, and there is a correlation there. I think maybe Eduardo mentioned that or something, but let's just have a little search and a little chit chat. Maybe I'll try to prep a little bit more for that, but yeah, try Italian Futurism. Yeah, guys, if you want to just throw in some art concepts or things to explore other times, I'll put it to the list. And let me know what kind of ideas or suggestions you guys have, because it was your suggestions that brought me to Dadaism and all sorts of stuff. So just throw them in there. That's what we can do for the next few minutes while I pull up that document to put to my list. Alright. Art stream topics. Alright. Italian Futurism, particularly? Is that what you said? Italian. Let's see what else you guys have to say. Oh, I'm so glad, John, that I could make time fly for you. Thanks for keeping me company while I'm here in the jewelry shop. Late. Jewelry shop? That sounds fun. We could look at some Art Deco jewelry. Let me look at what that is real quick. Art Deco jewelry. It's going to be very ornate and fancy. Let's have that. Oh yeah, this is very Art Deco. It looks very 80s too. This is very Art Deco. Oh yeah, I have some stuff that looks like that. Oh, I love that. Cool. Makes sense now. Makes sense. Yeah, that to me is what I think of Art Deco jewelry. Just very ornate and structural. That is gorge. Cool. Oh, this is just some bullshit modern version of Art Deco jewelry. Look how tacky it looks. Looks terrible. I like that. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. I love that. Yeah, this is what we gotta do. Look up antique. Some of that modern shit looks so tacky. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I think too of Art Deco. This, cool. Cool. I love jewelry. Yeah, Art Nouveau. That's kind of goes with the Art Deco that we talked about, but maybe we can revisit that as well. I think the futurists were fascists. Everyone's talking about the futurists, so that looks like a really interesting topic that everyone's excited about. Anything else? That's interesting, Eduardo. I'm going to copy and paste that. Well, you know, the Nazi fascists were definitely futurists. They were progressive. They weren't into an old. Let's go back. Ooh. Oh, Steven.
Heading to the States also in a few weeks. More likely to see Maya at a museum than Disney now though, P.
You know what's really funny, Steven, is that you're really not far from where I am in the UK right now. We could totally meet up for at the pub or something, but wouldn't it be funny if we ended up meeting up in America and it's like you were here the whole time? That'd be really funny. PLL. Oh, it's a smiley face. I got it. P. Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything about the art in particular. I'm talking about it's interesting that the art term futurist has something to do with Italian fascism, but the Nazis themselves, were like separate topic, but it kind of relates because it reminds me of it because the whole futurism thing is that it was the Nazis were actually progressives. They were all about like that Planned Parenthood type shit. They were all about a push forward, a new Germany, a new way. So it wasn't really like necessarily trad, and that's interesting. And they also had nude photography and all sorts of degenerate shit. All right. Steven kind of kept me on here a little bit longer, but I don't know what else. What other kind of topics? So I'll definitely do maybe futurists next time because that people are saying that's really interesting. What else? What else? We got math and art. We did Baroque, which is similar to like the Rococo and stuff, but I guess we could always get into that more. And then we talked about mannerism before with the Baroque era. What else? We can talk about the CIA and modern art. And modern art is not contemporary art. There's a difference there. Yeah, definitely triggers discussion. I think it's fascinating. That'd be a great topic. So make sure we do that maybe next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, that sounds really cool. I mean, maybe we could talk about Nazi art sometime, but I'm in the UK and YouTube's really weird with even bringing up historical stuff. But that's actually a really interesting topic because they were really into censoring really degenerate art, but at the same time they had nude photography and their film for the Olympics, something called Olympia, and they had this little film, and the intro of it is like gorgeous, and it's actually still considered one of the top film like what is it, cinematography rankings. It's like up there, and it had nude stuff like that. Yeah, I will do that, Eduardo, copying and pasting that so I have notes. I love it, Eduardo, because you're all like, oh, politics and art don't have to go together, and you're like all about this right now. I love it. It's funny when we think about these stuff through political lenses. Leftists say they were the ones who brought supposedly better conditions for workers, talking about working rights and stuff, when actually the first ones who brought these topics to the table were literal fascists. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Dada, in some ways, was a response to futurism. Yeah, I think we... like, just because like the Italian fascists thing kind of reminded me of Evola, and because he's Italian and he was considered to be friends with some Italian fascists and stuff, but he was also into Dadaism and art, so that was it's interesting to see the connection with that. They were the ones who turned into legislation too. Oh, cool. Thank you, Amaranto. World War II by Jim Jones is an art book with works from Axis and Allied military art departments, and has a ton of great charcoal trench work. That's interesting. I'll put that in my notes. Just a lot of fun stuff to explore, and we always learn something new. I always learn something new every time. I think other people are like, oh, I didn't know that, so it's fun to just go over this stuff. This is what kind of stuff we need to be doing for like the culture war culture is, I think, just more education, more understanding of art and culture and things like that. Anyway, maybe we should move away from World War II and politics. I agree. I'm not trying to be like all political. It's not my thing. I don't want to be doing that stuff, but you know, when talking about art and history and things, sometimes it does kind of you have to talk about it, and it has to kind of come in there. I don't think my streams generally talk about it, so it would be a good one-off stream or whatever. I don't have a problem with that, but yeah, it's not my main. This is not a political stream at all. People that dislike onions are weird. I agree with that. Yep. Alright, cool. If anyone else has any comments, you could always just message me and send me some suggestions via Twitter or something. But I think we have a pretty good list we're going with now. We got Italian Futurism, Art Nouveau, which I might do a little bit later because it's very similar to what we just did. The Rococo is similar to stuff that we've done, but I might explore it a little bit more. The CIA in Modern Art, and the Jim Jones art book. Alright, I'm just lingering around. Onions improve everything. I agree. And you know what I like to do? I like to caramelize onions. You put it on a really low temperature, maybe add a little bit of water sometimes. and just let it slowly darken up. No crisp edges, just let it get like, you know, orangey almost. And my god, I love caramelized onions on everything. I like raw onions too, but I love caramelized onions. Makes everything better. Robbie asked, speaking of political, I guess you're not with Rebel anymore. No, I haven't been with Rebel for like a year. So no, not with Rebel. I will be doing some cooking stream with Donna Trumplova. She wanted to do desserts this time, and since we're sticking to our heritage for our cooking, delicious and onion peeled. You're so funny, dude. I'm going to be making baklava, because I make really, really good baklava. Oh my god, I wish I had some now to eat. Ugh. Onion peeled. I wish Jay was here to see that. I think he bounced, but yeah. Onion peeled. Alright. Hair's getting dry, slowly. And I'm out of here. See you guys Thursday. I am going to do alchemy stream because I can't leave off where I left off and have too much gap in between. So, alchemy stream Thursday. Alright, love you guys. Bye.